I wasn't planning on making a video on No-Rin, but it pleasantly surprised me, so that's why this video is here. It's a comedy about farming where we follow the adventures of Kosaku, his two friends, and the new girl who he has a thing for. All the episodes are random events that are loosely connected. It's very exaggerated and silly when it comes to the humor. It very much falls in the group of dumb comedies. This may come off as me insulting it, but I'm not. Dumb comedies are shows that are just purely silly and the humor comes from how hyperbolic the characters and situations are. This is my type of humor, but I know it may not be for everyone. Even though every episode is about something crazy and dumb, it never seems to get away from the farming aspect. The show takes place in a farming-focused town where all the characters are just accustomed to farming. No matter how crazy the scenarios get, they were always rooted, or centered on farming, which I gotta give props to. It's very easy to use an aspect for something and then immediately throw it away. The show is centered on farming and it never forgot that. The characters were all pretty fun and charismatic. I can always appreciate an anime that does something different to the usual. This show has a lot of perverted sexual humor, which I've seen done many times in quote-unquote dumb comedies. This is humor that I like, but enjoy very much how instead of going with the usual, guys are perverts and only they make jokes about this stuff and girls look down upon them for it. I like how the whole cast are pervs, some more than others, but they are. It changes the dynamics when it comes to the humor because everyone, boys and girls, go along either with the situations. Girls can be pervs too, it's not just a guy thing. Speaking more about characters, this show has a love triangle thing going on in it. Kosaku has a thing for Ringo, and Minori, his childhood friend, has a thing for him. This show fails at making it hard to root for someone. Usually shows like this give the viewer enough of a reason to go for one team or the other. No-Rin doesn't do that. Even though there are two love interests, since Ringo is really deadpan, she gets overshadowed by Minori because of how energetic she is. Ringo for a while is just an explanation character. What I mean by that is that since she is from the city, she is used as a way to explain things about farming to us the viewers in a way that makes sense. The amount of times in my notes that say explanation to Ringo about is a bit much. You actually end up learning certain things about farming because all the things they say are true.
What's going on?
The otaku market is setting its sights on the female dollar. Women are dropping more cash on sex merch than their male counterparts. Maybe the modern woman has become lonesome. Whatever the case, only a fool would ignore the trend.
What she said is completely true. Anime News Network actually did an article or a piece on the same stuff she's talking about that I'll link below. It's a pretty interesting read that I would suggest you check out. The other characters, Kei and Yoshida, are very funny and I don't really have much to say about them. The animation and art is great. It was produced by Studio Silverlink, who I've mentioned before on this channel gets comedy, and the art gives off the vibe of summer and fun very well. The character designs, on the other hand, aren't that interesting honestly. I've seen many characters with similar designs before in other animes. They do fix this by how they color and shade them. Giving color right down to their outlines, shadows on their bodies, and eyes gives them a very unique look that blends very well with the luscious backgrounds, but still makes them stand out. The writing can be very hit or miss. This show has a lot of sexual and perverted humor, which may not be for everyone, but I enjoy it. It's surprising by how not subtle it is though. Sometimes it works because of how straightforward and blunt the punchline to the joke can be, while others just fall flat because it comes off as, hey, this is funny because we're talking about this sexual thing that is inappropriate. Another aspect of the show that got tiresome very fast were the chibi cuts. I very much like how cute they are, but it's used so many times that the comedic effect of them goes away very fast. Seriously, the amount of times you'll see this in one episode is a bit too much. The other humor in this show, which I was not expecting, is the anime references and parodies. There are many, and it's great what they are used for. No-Rin is a pretty simple show. By the end of episode 2, you very much know how the show will be. It's a not serious, perverted, dumb comedy. If you're someone who has seen Baka and Test, which is also Silverlink, Defrag, and Is This a Zombie, you've probably already seen No-Rin and most likely enjoyed it. If you haven't seen a dumb comedy yet, this is a pretty good place to start, and if you're someone who really wants clever, subtle humor, this is not for you. I like the shows I mentioned, so it makes sense that I like this anime.